Initially I wasn't going to come onto the field with the dogs, but it is pretty windy and the sun is pretty shaded. Like, that's kind of not so bad when the sun's out but there's a wind, so it's quite nice actually. I'm literally just going to zigzag the field and then make my way home. You know, I thought that was open then, but it's just some wood dumped by there. I was watching a video on the channel called The Learning Canteen, which is like best places, worst places of different areas. And I watched one which was market towns, worst market towns in England. So I was kind of like in my head going off like what would be on that list. And some of the pronunciations were well wrong. They're like number 8, Keighley. No, Keighley. We're in Keighley for this one. I'm like, we're in Keighley for this one. So I'm like, okay then. And I'm kind of like listing, and it was like, there was weird ones like I would not have expected. There was like stuff in Oxfordshire, in Cambridgeshire, and I'm like, wow, they're like rich places. They're like richer places, and I'm like, it kind of like, I was kind of like, well, why are they stuck? Like, why are they shit? And it's just down to like it's like you've got this facade where the buildings make that place look really good, but then you like get down to like that, like where people live, and it's like the problem is because people can't afford the expensive bit in the middle, that people are having to move out, and then it's like less expensive and it isn't as good, and people are struggling. I got that with Peterborough. I was like, some of the architecture with Peterborough was just so good. I was like, whoa. And as soon as you got into the town centre, there were people begging. There were, oh, obviously you get that everywhere, but people were injecting, and people were like just harassing everybody. And like, it's one of them places where I was like, I want to be a tourist, which I am, taking pictures of this place to show it off, but you had to go to the nicer spots to show them bits off. And when I did show like the real like bits of Peterborough, people were like, oh wow, what are you doing? And I didn't feel safe at all. As soon as I got back to the hotel, I was like, yep, I feel alright now. And that was even weirder when the police were like, oh, you don't want to go back up to Leeds, it's full of northerners. I'm like, I know you're joking, but that's such a stupid thing. I'm like, oh really, is it? I'm like, alright, okay. I would not have guessed that. I'm like, oh, if you go to Scotland, you'll see Scottish people. Oh, I'm like, boo. And that not clicked. That's the police as well telling me, not some like random drunk telling me. That's the police outside the train station. I'm like, yeah, get me back up to Leeds. I mean, I'm not fond of Leeds, but that's one place, that's one time where I was like, just get me back to Leeds properly. I was like, God, get me back. Oh, there's quite a few people on that field down there, but there's no one on there. I mean, the dogs haven't ran that much, which is good. Whew. So when I get home, big bowl of porridge, and I'm going to have a pint of water. And because I'm struggling for the toilet, like not as much now, but I did earlier, but like I'm going to write down like foods that have fibre in them, and then basically be like, right, I need to have primarily those foods with the fibre in. And then as well, like, if you to not have spicy food, but I'm kind of like, spicy food will make you go to the toilet more, so surely that would be an idea, right? Right, so what I'm going to do is wrap the video up now. Dogs are behind me. One's really well behind. And I'll upload some videos later, well, today anyway, this morning anyway, before I set off, and do some more Assoluto racing editing. So, Assoluto racing, I've got a list of cars, and I've got like a list of 21 cars that require coins to unlock, and if I just slowly go through the list and play through the cars. So thanks for watching for now, and goodbye.